All right, let's dive right in. If you're in B2B marketing, you already know the game has completely changed. The old playbook, the one about just shouting louder than everyone else, it's officially broken. So today, we're going to break down a really clear, actionable framework to help you win, not just now, but through 2026 and way beyond. Let's get to it.
I mean, this quote from the future just nails it, right? It perfectly captures one of the biggest problems in marketing today. So many of us are pouring time and money into reaching the wrong people. People who can't afford what we sell, don't really get the value, or are just way too busy to even notice our generic noise. It's time for a major rethink.
Look, the B2B world has completely flipped on its head. Our buyers are smarter than ever, they're doing tons of research on their own, and they are absolutely drowning in content. And at the same time, it's getting more and more expensive to even get their attention. So, as you can see here, that old spray and pray method is dead. Winning now is all about precision, about personalization, and about leading with so much value that you're impossible to ignore.
So how do we actually do that? Well, here's our game plan. We'll start by really understanding this big B2B marketing shift. Then, we'll dive into our 3 pillars. First, and this is the big one, deep audience empathy. Second, building a balanced growth engine. And third, choosing future-proof channels to make sure our strategy lasts. And then, of course, we'll bring it all together.
Okay, let's get into our first pillar, deep empathy. Before you write a single line of copy, before you plan a single campaign, you have to get this right. Seriously, this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
Okay, I know this question sounds a little harsh, maybe even blunt, but we have to ask it. Are you spending all your energy chasing clients who can't actually afford you or who don't really see the massive value you bring? Because if you are, you're just on a treadmill to burnout. The goal isn't just to find any client, it's to attract the right ones, the people who desperately need what you do and are thrilled to pay for it.
And the secret to finding those amazing clients? It's all about moving past the basics, beyond demographics, and into what you see here, psychographics. We have to dig deeper. We need to understand their real fears, what truly motivates them, and what values drive their decisions. This is how you create marketing that connects on a human level and makes your ideal customer feel like you're reading their mind.
So how do you actually do this? Well, here's a super simple 4-step process to get you started. Just look at your last 10 clients. Now, which of those projects brought you the most joy and felt the most aligned with why you're in business? Got them? Okay, now double check that they were actually profitable. That sweet spot, joy, alignment, and profit, that's the DNA of your perfect client. Now, you build your entire marketing profile to attract more people just like them.
And this brings us to a concept that is so important. It's called problem match. Before you ever mention your amazing solution or its cool features, you have one job. Prove that you deeply understand their specific problem. And you have to say it back to them in their own words. When a prospect hears you describe their challenge better than they could themselves, that's it. That's when you've earned their trust and the right to keep talking.
Okay, so you know who you're talking to. Awesome. Now, pillar 2 is all about what you actually do. This is where we stop chasing shiny objects and start building a balanced, sustainable engine for growth.
Now check this out. This is a game changer. Research from the B2B Institute found that the most successful, fastest-growing companies follow this 50-50 rule. They split their marketing efforts and budget right down the middle. Half goes to long-term brand building, and the other half goes to short-term sales activation. The truth is, most businesses are way too heavy on the sales side, and that imbalance is exactly what's holding them back. And it is absolutely critical to get that these are 2 totally different jobs. They need different strategies, different creative, different everything. Sales activation, over on the right, that's your hunter. Its job is to capture the demand that exists right now. It's super targeted, it's rational, it's urgent. Brand building, on the left, that's your farmer. Its job is to create demand for the future. It's broader, more emotional, and it's all about becoming memorable so that months or even years from now, when people are ready to buy, you're the first one they think of.
And that brand-building goal leads to this key idea called mental availability. See, it's not just about people knowing your name. Who cares about that? The real goal is to become so famous to your ideal customer that in a buying situation, your brand just pops into their head automatically. You want to be the no-brainer, the default choice.
So, what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, take a look at these tactics. On the brand building side, you've got things like founder-led content, deep dive YouTube videos, webinars, stuff that builds trust and authority over the long haul. And on the sales activation side, you have your classic lead getters, like cold email and targeted ads. You need both, A healthy business has a balanced diet of both.
And that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle, future-proofing. So you know who you're talking to and you have a balanced strategy. But where? Where do you actually show up? The channels we use are shifting under our feet faster than ever.
First things first, let's get one thing straight. Traditional search is still a monster. Google is not dead. I mean, 98 billion monthly visits? Yeah, people are definitely still using it to find answers and solutions. So having a solid presence there is still table stakes. It's non-negotiable.
But, and this is a huge but, there's a massive shift happening right under our noses. A bigger and bigger slice of your audience isn't starting their journey on Google anymore. Nope, they're going straight to AI platforms like ChatGPT and Perplexity to get answers and recommendations. And this new path to discovery changes, well, pretty much everything.
This means we need a totally new playbook, Ask Engine Optimization, or AEO. See, AI tools don't just invent answers out of thin air. They pull them, they synthesize them from sources they trust, like YouTube, Reddit, and Wikipedia. And here's the kicker. If your brand isn't visible and valued in those places, then to an AI and to the growing number of people using it, you are effectively invisible.
So, how do you win this new game? It means you have to adapt. You've got to create content on the platforms that AI is actually paying attention to. It means you need to think in terms of big, comprehensive topic clusters, not just stuffing in keywords. And most importantly, you have to make your content personality-driven. AI can scrape facts all day long, but it can never replicate real human trust and authentic expertise.
And, you know, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In a world that's about to be flooded with AI-generated content, your human connection becomes the ultimate unfair advantage. People don't connect with logos. They connect with, and they buy from, other people they know, like, and trust. Showing your face, sharing your unique point of view, that's how you build a real brand that can't be copied.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. Because the real magic here doesn't come from focusing on just one of these pillars. The power comes from integrating all three into one cohesive, powerful growth system.
It's really a beautiful, simple flow when you think about it. It all starts with deep empathy for your client. That insight then informs your entire strategy, that balanced 50-50 engine. And then you fuel that engine with authentic, personality-driven content on the modern channels where your audience and the AI they use are actually paying attention. See, each step logically builds on the one before it.
So, I'll leave you with this one final question to really think about. Is your marketing just playing the short game, scrambling to capture the leads that are available today? Or are you playing the long game, building an empathetic, balanced, and truly future-proof brand that will be the default choice for years and years to come? The answer to that question is going to define your future.